Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I got another video here for you today, one that's going to be similar to one we did about a week ago. We did a video on how to best mark your tools so that you can visibly see what are the sizes on them. But we managed to put in that fingernail polish inside these recessed areas and then wiped off the excess. And if you guys haven't seen the video, I'll link it here, but feel free to look through the channel, go back to that video and watch it because it's actually a really good video and a lot of you guys liked it a lot. So if you haven't seen it, go back and watch how to put it in recessed areas. But it also came to my mind that, there's other opportunities where you want to see stuff that's not recessed, but more so pronounced, right? It's actually extruded or above the surface of the material that you're looking at. And a perfect example is going to be right here with this Craftsman B Series wrench that I also reviewed just recently. But as you can tell, in the right light, you just can't quite see what all's there. Even over here in the red, I could barely see right now. You guys probably barely see it yourself too. But without the right contrast, you just can't see. Nail polish, we've already gone over. You could possibly do the same here again if you'd like to too. It'd be a little bit harder. But there's even an easier way to make your tool holders, or another one is blow molded cases, right? There's always going to be some sort of lettering that's on those that's going to help you distinguish what are the sizes or what is the tool set that's in there. So hang tight, we'll get started here. All right, guys, so let's start here first with this red set. So the idea for being able to see this easier is going to be able to have some contrast. You could use solid paint. So this is a nice one in that it is actually paint, but it's somewhat dry, almost dry chemical process. And this one works out really well if you want very little extra mess while you're trying to apply it. And then you also have your paint markers. So these work great as well. Shake them up. These are also, some of you guys even mentioned that you like to use these for putting into the recessed areas. So paint marker will work great for those. Also work for these. And then you obviously get different colors. So white, orange, blue. I mean, you name it. If you got a color you want, pick that marker up and go for it. But also, Sharpies actually work pretty well too, especially if it's not going to be in an area that's excessively abrasive, right? Your wrenches are going to be in an area where you're going to be rubbing up against stuff. They're going to get greasy and get dirty. Sharpie's not going to work as well. But in the case for me, and this is up to you guys if it works well for you too, but in the case for me, I like to use it on these plastics because they're going to be more so just sitting somewhere protected, very little abuse. So with the Sharpie, you could go one of two ways. You could attempt to take it and just ever so lightly trace the numbers by hand. And I'll try to zoom this in for you guys in a second so you can see it. And then there's even easier ways. I actually kind of like it if you actually take it and roll it on its side. Does it work out just a little bit better? And if you do go down there and hit a spot, then come back with some rubbing alcohol and a towel or what have you, or even a Q-tip works too. You can easily clean up those messes. But just take a look at that right now, guys. That number 10 is way easier to see than all the rest of those numbers. So we'll go through it one time, and then I'd say come back a second time and run through it again. And I like to put it on its side just because it gives you a larger surface area and makes it easier for you to essentially not mess up, right? And it's actually better to work from the furthest ones away from you. Now that I'm obviously going to do it the right way. But that way you don't have to go over your work as you're going. So go from the furthest one and then work your way closer. And the Sharpie does a decent job at doing that. And the key here is just to take your time. Right? You're not in a rush. You want to make sure it looks good. And you're only going to end up using a minute of your time. I guarantee you, your first time doing this, you're probably going to make some mistakes. So don't be hard on yourself. It's a little bit of a learning process to get down to be halfway decent at it. But once you get it figured out, it goes pretty easy. You can come back and touch up. I would like to come back and touch up once because it puts a little slight extra layer to make it just kind of pop a little bit better. But there you go. For all intent and purposes, that is what it looks like. We'll put up close for you guys here to see. But bam, there you go. Now I know exactly what sizes I have ahead of me. And I don't have to sit there and try to like, okay, what is it? Is it 10, 11, 12? Okay, yeah, it makes it a lot easier. So that's for red, right? You want contrast, black works great with red. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at black here. Black's gonna be a little bit different. You could go various ways with black. You could go ahead and use a white marker. I'm gonna try this white marker just to show you guys first. I'm probably gonna have a hard time with it because as a liquid, it wants to kind of come out and pool up a little bit. Now, you could always just take you don't want to get it to come out, maybe dry off the tip just a little bit. The drier this is, the easier it's going to be able to maneuver. So we'll just give it a little touch. This one you're just going to go on and kind of just like touch it ever so gently. And see, I already messed it up a little bit. I'll have to come back later and fix that. But this one's just a little bit harder to do right. So 11/16. So not the best looking. It actually looks pretty rough. All right, let's give it another try with the solid marker. And again, with it being solid, it's not going to want to drop into the crevices quite as far. It's going to make it a little bit easier, hopefully here in this example, to apply it. So again, if you kind of get on its side, works a little bit better. So there you go, there's 5/8. That came out a little bit cleaner. We'll do 9/16 here next. It's okay to kind of trace the numbers as well. Flow with them as you're drawing them on. Perfect, there's 9/16. You come back to, let's see what this hard marker is. It doesn't dry nearly as fast. So you could come back here pretty quick and just give her a little cleanup as you go. Slowly getting there. And sometimes it gets a little rough on the surface here, so just take your time and feel free to wipe it off. Start again. Because the smoother that surface is, the more it's going to want to play nice as you try to mark it on a bumpy surface. I'll have to come back here and do a little touch-up of everything. But I'm sure you guys could do that on your own. Grab a Q-tip. I'm not going to show you guys all the little steps, but that's pretty close. But you grab yourself a rag while it's still wet, rub in there in those little spots, get it out. You can use something as easy as a nail too. Either the nail by itself or wrap it up in a tissue. You just get those little crevices that you made a mess in. Alright guys, that's good enough for now. You did a little bit of rag work, right, with the nail. Sometimes having the nail pushing through the rag helps you just get down inside there and clean it up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and come back a little bit later with alcohol right here to get this little crevice finalized. But for the most part, I'm at my objective. I'm now able to see those numbers on the plastic case very easily. I've established contrast, which is perfect if you have sight problems or just issues seeing. In general, these small numbers and letters, if it be on other items too. But yeah, I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. What have you guys used yourself to help to identify on your cases themselves what tools you have inside there? I'd love to hear it. And yeah, hopefully you guys like this video. I'm open to hear your guys' comments. And if you haven't, please like and please subscribe by clicking the button down below. And yeah, thanks again, guys. We'll talk to you soon. And we'll see you.